There's only one Zhilei Zhang. One Zhilei Zhang. Walking alone, singing the song. Walking in the Zhang Wonderland. There's only one Zhilei Zhang. One Zhilei Zhang. Walking alone, singing the song. Walking in the Zhang Wonderland. There's only one. Guys, congrats to Big Bang Zhilei Zhang on his third round destruction of Joyce. Congrats to him and his entire team, his fan base, China. Guys, I apologize it took me this long to make a reaction video. But as you can imagine from the winning bet slips that I posted on Saturday on the community tab, if you have not seen it, go check it out. It was Miller time. All right. It was time to party. It was time to celebrate. Went out and had some fun Saturday night. And life's been good, all right. A big thank you to Big Bang Zhilei Zhang, all right. In 2 fights with Joyce, I made Big Bang, all right. All of the winning slips are on the community tab again. Guys, there's really not a whole lot to comment or break down on this fight. Joyce tried to be a bit more defensive, moving to his left away from Zhang's right, or left, excuse me. Moving to his left to try to avoid Zhang's left. He had his hand up trying to protect his eye. His right hand was up. He was trying to be more defensive. Zhang was very patient in the first round. It was basically just reading Joyce, all right. Then, of course, in the second round, he started to pick it up. He started to land flush on Joyce. Anytime he would land flush with a straight left hand, Joyce would stiffen up, be rocked, be hurt. Clearly was not a good sign from the beginning. And then, of course, in the third round, Zhang had the winning formula, the money-making combo, if you will. Threw a left to the body that really meant nothing. It was just to get Joyce's attention down there. And Zhang knew that he would be open for the right hook. He threw it, and it was good night for Joyce. All right. Guys, if you watch that fight, while Joyce had his right hand up to try to protect his face and his eye, his left hand was very low. It was down by his waist, all right. And of course, as the fight went on, as he would get hit more, as I was telling my girl, yeah, he's doing this and that right now. But once he starts getting hit, he's gonna change, all right. And of course, he had a mental lapse. Just trying to style out from just a few months of training, a few months of recovery. I said it was a disaster, man. And if this happens again, and it will someday, where somebody's gonna get dominated and then have a quick turnaround. We're gonna play it the same way, guys. Just keep this in mind. This had disaster written all over it. Joyce should not have gotten back in with this guy ever again. Even if it was a year from now, he should not have rematched Zhang, man. This guy was a terrible matchup for him. Joyce was great at being the bully when he was the bigger man, coming forward, winging all them big power shots and shit. But once he got in with somebody who was not and did not back down from him, all right, I don't even really think it was about size, but the fact that the guy, was willing to stand there and trade with him, all right, was not taking a back step. But of course, it didn't help that Zhang was the same size or really bigger than Joyce. and a southpaw on top of it, and faster with the hands, and faster with the feet, and better defensively. You know, this guy was a stylistic matchup for Joyce, man. You know, he really was. You know, man. Now the only criticism or comments I can make on Zhang is, you know, while he was with 287 for this fight, you know, with the, you know, coming in, you know, going for more power. Um, you know, I would prefer him to be in the 270s because I do believe in the text. In my opinion, I think he was a tad slower. All right. But of course, with Joyce, it didn't matter because Joyce was going to be even slower with the extra weight. He was already slow. He does not move his head. So, you know, he still had all of the, you know, the speed advantages when it came to Joyce. But if he's getting in with Fury or getting in with Usyk, I think he should be in the 270s, you know, to have his speed because he was, in my opinion, he was definitely faster in the first fight. All right. Uh, Now, if he was in 270s, would he have, you know, face planted Joyce with that right hook the way he did? You know, maybe not. I would like to think he would have, you know, but maybe he wouldn't have. But, you know, he's going to need that speed, in my opinion, if he gets in with those guys. All right. Derek Chisora was, you know, interrupting his post-fight interview, talking about he wanted to fight, all this and that. Frank Warren was talking about giving him a quick turnaround, maybe have him fight before the year's over. Derek Chisora would be a prime candidate, and he would get knocked out. All right. You know, this would not be a Pulev situation. All right. This would not be a Gerald Washington situation. All right. Um, you know, Chisora is past it. He's done. Hell, as a gambler, you know, as a kind of a easy fight, easy money maker, we should hope that they do make the Chisora fight with Zhang, man. Man, that's a knockout win for Big Bang, all right, and he will be heavily favored on the money line, and he will be favored by stoppage, all right. You know, again, guys, the odds makers gave us gift odds in this fight, man. You know, if I was making a line after the first fight, Zong would have been no less than a minus 1,000 favorite. You know, same. I feel the same way about Terrence Crawford fighting Errol Spence in the rematch. You know, guys. I just think that you know, both for the first fights with dominant performances and not even close, not competitive at all. And for them to basically have Zong as a slight favorite, some places it was pick 'em off, especially after some money came in on Joyce. You know, guys, it was, you know, it was gift odds, man, and then better than even money on a knockout. You know, I was salivating over those odds from the get go. You know, FanDuel had it a plus 160, and then it went up to a plus 170. You know, I got in on both. All right. Um, and then what I think maybe Wednesday or Thursday night, evening, whenever it was, kept thinking about how Zhang was talking about, you know, how it was gonna be an easier fight and quicker than the first time, which, you know, I totally could understand what he was saying, where he was coming from. Um, I'm like, I wonder what they give him from rounds 1 through 6. And most of the places had it at a plus 450. FanDuel had it at a plus 650. That was a gold mine, guys. A gold mine. All right. Some of the guys commented how they got it, you know, at similar odds elsewhere, you know, or may have played it at FanDuel or wherever. That was a gold mine, guys. A gold mine. All right. Um, so, you know, again, congrats to Zhang. Big Bang once again coming through, winning us a lot of money. You know, thank you guys for the comments, the compliments. Glad you guys were able to profit off this fight. Uh, I'm already seeing what I'm gonna do this weekend coming up. I will make a video soon talking about those things. Uh, but you know, This was one of the best of the year, man. Again, the first fight was one of the best of the year. With the odds were way off. They had Zhang as a huge underdog, plus 600, plus 650, and even in the rematch, better than even money on knockout props. So really, I think that's it, guys. I don't think I'm missing anything. I will give Joyce credit. If, when he landed that punch, I stood up and raised my arms and said, "That's it. It's over." Wave it off. And somehow, some way, this guy got up. He was down there asleep with his eyes open, but then somehow rose from the ashes and stood up. But the ref, of course, I'm gonna say he did a good job stopping it because made a shit ton of money off him waving it off. But Joyce was in no continue to was in no shape to continue in that fight. It's some YouTuber out there trying to talk about about like it was like he shouldn't have been stopped or he didn't get knocked out or whatever. It should be a protest or whatever. Man, when Joyce got up, even though he was up before the 10 count, as the ref continued to count, and then when he got a 10 and then waved it off, if you look at Joyce's eyes, man, it was glazed over. He was not, walking forward with his hands up. He was just standing there with this glazed look in his eyes, man. He was in no shape to continue, man. If the ref would have let that fight continue, well, first of all, actually the round did end. Zhang would not have been able to go forward and try to stop him. He would have had time to go back to the stool, but his eyes were glazed over, man. He was out on his feet. Hell, as a matter of fact, he was sitting on the stool. He did not even stand in the middle of the ring when they announced the decision and put the belt on Zhang. All right, he was sitting on the stool, and hell, he even had oxygen hooked up to him. All right, so that was a good stoppage. A face plant. He should not have been. This brother really needs to retire, man. He's talking about he gonna continue. If he gets in with non punchers, he probably will be all right. If he gets in with smaller guys like he had been doing. But if he gets in with a puncher, man, he's gonna be in trouble. And hell, with the way he got, the damage he took in the first fight, the way he face planted in this fight, his punch resistance might not be the same. He could get in with a non puncher and maybe get hurt. You just got to go forward on Joyce and not take a back step. They talking about him and Dubois having a rematch. If Dubois is smart, he'll storm the pocket like he did when he fought Cusimano, all right, and go forward and be aggressive with Joyce and not, be backing away and showing all this respect and shit like he was in the first fight he had with Joyce. So, but really, that's it, guys. Let me know what you think. Congrats to you guys on winning money for taking my advice, and glad to see you in the winner circle. Glad you profited off this fight. I cannot comment on any other fights. The McCaskill, Sandy Ryan fight, all that shit. I didn't even watch that shit, guys. I was out celebrating. All right, and that's just the truth about it. So, and all my focus was on this fight because this was the big money maker, one of the best of the year, and it paid off. So that's it, guys. Let me know what you think about this fight, about this big money maker, and I will check in with you soon. Thanks for watching.